We all thought it'd be all over by now. And I think even amongst our friends or whatever, we thought life would go back to normal, and it hasn't. There's still a huge level of frustration in terms of the agents. The government, as you know, haven't given any type of clear advice. And even if we do get a green list, if they don't change the non-essential travel, it means people still can't go because they're not going to be insured. That's one of the frustrations. I think the other frustrations that are still there at the moment are that refunds are not coming through as quickly as they thought they would. So there still is an issue around refunds and when they will actually receive the money. So a lot of the members are now open again. I would say 70% of the members have opened their shops again, be it by appointment only. And they're now in a situation as well where obviously, as you know yourself, flights are actually operating and passengers now cannot travel on them and are losing their money. We also have refunds that people haven't received since March and April. So, and it's not just airlines, it's other suppliers as well. And whilst we've been told that we will get refunds, it's when. And consumers are now looking for them still and are quoting package travel directives, etc. Had the frustration, as I said, of flights actually now physically operating. So I'll give you an example. An agent booked a cruise, but then booked flights separately. The cruise they can get a full refund on, but the flights are operating by Ryanair now, and it's either changed to another date with an extortionate fare difference or amendment fee. So whilst they can get the money back from a cruise company, they can't get it back from the airline. So it is causing there is a consumer in the middle of all this. And it's quite flippant of the government here to say to consumers, don't travel, lose your money. These are consumers that have worked hard all year long, in some cases, for this family holiday. And some of these holidays are quite expensive. So it's quite a flippant statement to say, stay at home, lose your money. When people have worked hard for it. From the word go, some suppliers have been better than others. They're now, because it's a rolling effect now, the policies are rolling on. So at the very beginning, there was a slight hysteria. That has calmed down now. So, with regard to, sailings being cancelled or cancelled further out, there is a process in place and there is a policy in place. So therefore, those policies are just being rolled out even further. But agents now understand what those policies are. With regard to airlines, it's not they're in a much more fluid situation. So therefore, their policies are changing nearly on a day-by-day basis as to what's operating and what's not operating. And again, that's down to us not having a clear, defined green list of countries, and not alone having a green list of countries, but also having a government to say that it is now okay to travel to those countries. With all of the PR that the government have put around not travelling, I think even if flights to resume at this stage, and we did get a green list of countries and we did get the ban lifted, people are afraid at this point in time. I think if we are to look, to new business, we've got to start looking at the back end of this year, and we really have to start looking at 2021. Because I think even if the government lift the restrictions now, people are going to be a little bit afraid to go.
2020 is a write-off?
Certainly, I think until we get some sort of green list and the non-essential ban lifted. And if we get that, possibly the back end of the year to the Canaries. But, other than that, I think we really have to start looking at 2021.
What do your members need? What do agents need at this stage?
I think at this stage they definitely need clarity from the government as to what is on the green list and where we can travel and where it's safe to travel. From the supplier point of view, we need offers for 2021. We need refunds to be processed. We need flexibility with regard to new bookings. Because this is not going to go away. So if somebody is going to decide to go and pay a deposit, we need flexibility with regard to their booking if something happens further down the line.
Thank you, Caroline.
We also need the COVID payment with regard to the wage subsidy to make sure that it's extended to cover the travel industry during the winter months.
Thank you, Caroline of Worldchoice.